it's like I have such a rich inner life that I can just sit there, you know, and I do a lot of the time. I'll just sit there and think. There's so much to think about, so much to experience, so much to meditate on, so much to analyze, so much to understand. That who needs this entertainment and this, you know, stimulation from outside? So this is the result of spiritual culture. With spiritual culture means you can sit under a tree and do nothing and be perfectly happy and engaged, even productive. Because when I'm thinking over, oh, I have so many students, and this one needs this, and this one needs that, and I pray for them, and I ask Krishna's blessing, you know, and then I'm thinking how to engage them, how to help them in different ways. So there's always something to do. This is my work, actually. You know, thinking about the meaning of consciousness. This is my work. This is what I do all day. I haven't come up with the title for this job yet. I don't know what to put on my card. You know? What do I put? So, so people would understand what I do all day. Sits around and looks at the wall.
Babaji.
Huh?
Babaji is
Babaji. Yeah, that says it all, right?
Yeah.
If you know. If you know. But that's also a point of view, right?
Yeah.
So all this is made possible by Krishna. Krishna gives the esoteric teaching. He gives the instructions by which we can come to him. He gives the process by which we can deserve to receive his mercy and his love. His mercy and love are there, always. The problem is we don't want it. We don't know how to receive that. We push him away. We don't want him. So we have to prepare ourselves. We have to become qualified to receive these gifts. And then Krishna is very happy to bestow them on us. And because Krishna's birthday or his appearance day is coming very soon, now it's very appropriate that we're going through this section in Nectar of Devotion describing all the qualities of Sri Krishna. So this is part of that series, and I'm going to take up where we left off last time. Let's see. 11. Highly learned. When a person is highly educated and acts strictly on moral principles, he is called highly learned. A person conversant in different departments of knowledge is called educated, and because he acts on moral principles, he is called morally stout. Together, these two factors constitute learning. See, now this is where Western education is wrong, because they emphasize knowledge only, without the character. See, they don't build the moral fiber, or as he calls it, moral stoutness. They don't teach about truthfulness and so many good qualities that people must have. Because if you have knowledge, that's very nice, but then how are you going to apply that knowledge? What are you going to do with that knowledge? Are you going to use it to exploit people? Are you going to use it, you know, for some bad things? Like we've been discussing for a long time, the cheating business of the corporate Western society and how they're taking all the normal exchanges in the family and community life and they're monetizing them and making it into a business. So they're breaking down all these relationships that are normal in the society, and they are actually alienating people from the things that they need, the relationships that they need in their everyday life. But they wouldn't do this if they had good moral sense. And not only that, we wouldn't cooperate with this process. If we had good moral sense, we would drop out. He would say, no, I'm not going to get my yogurt from the store. I'm going to make it myself. I'm going to do so many things that I can do to increase the quality of life of my family and my community and like that. And then we would develop these relationships. Instead, we've let the corporations take all these valuable things away from us. So that means we're not very learned, because we haven't fought to retain these valuable things, moral principles. Krishna's receiving education from Sandipani Muni is described by Sri Narada Muni as follows. In the beginning, Lord Brahma and others are like clouds of evaporated water from the great ocean of Krishna. In other words, Brahma first received the Vedic education from Krishna, as the clouds receive water from the ocean. That Vedic education or instruction, which was spoken by Brahma to the world, was then reposed upon the mountain of Sandipani Muni. Sandipani Muni's instructions to Krishna are like a reservoir of water on the mountain, which flows as a river and goes again to mix with the source, the ocean of Krishna. This is very, very nice. Yeah, you don't find any literature like this anywhere in the world. It's so nice. Krishna. To be more clear, the idea is that Krishna actually cannot be instructed by anyone. Just as the ocean does not receive water from any source but itself. It only appears that the rivers are pouring water into the ocean. So it is clear that Brahma received his education from Krishna, and from Brahma, via the disciplic succession, this Vedic instruction was distributed. Sandipani Muni is likened to the river which is flowing down again to that same original ocean of Krishna. It's just like when we worship the Ganga. What do? We offer Ganga Jal, the same water, back to Ganga. So similarly, whatever worship of Krishna that we perform, we're simply taking Krishna's energy and offering it back to him again. See? But this is good for us, because that way we recognize that everything belongs to Krishna, that everything is Krishna's energy, and that there's nothing actually apart from Krishna. Everything is connected with Krishna, and everything finds its source, its origin, and its destination, its termination in Krishna. So by cultivating these thoughts and performing these rituals over and over again, then we develop this point of view. And this is real knowledge. This is real education. The Siddhas, the inhabitants of Siddhaloka, where all are born with fully developed mystic powers, and the Charanas, the inhabitants of a similar planet, pray to Krishna as follows. My dear Lord Govinda, the goddess of learning is decorated with 14 kinds of educational ornaments. Her intelligence is all-pervading within the 4 departments of the Vedas. Her attention is always on the law books given by great sages like Manu, and she is apparelled in 6 kinds of expert knowledge, namely Vedic evidence, grammar, astrology, rhetoric, vocabulary, and logic. Her constant friends are the supplements of the Vedas, the Puranas, and she is decorated with the final conclusion of all education, Vedanta. And now she has acquired an opportunity to sit with you as a class friend in school, and she is now engaged in your service. So the goddess of learning, this is very interesting, by the way. 6 kinds of expert knowledge. Vedic evidence means Shruti. The Shruti, the 4 original Vedas, if you hear them very nicely, then you will get so much knowledge. Shruti, by hearing. But the thing about the Vedas is they raise more questions than they answer. Why do we offer this to this demigod, with this mantra, and in this ritual, this way, and this priest had to sit on this side, and that's one on that side? Why is all this done in this way? So the Upanishads are there. Upanishad means you come close and sit down by a master. And then also means inquire. So if you inquire from a master, then you get the answers to all these questions. Right? So then what comes after that? Vedanta, the conclusion of the Vedas. So all this evidence is there. And then comes grammar, because by grammar this is how you understand it properly. The Sanskrit grammar takes like 12 years to learn properly. It's very